Number 5 is quite an interesting one, which is find joy in that system. If you do something that you hate every single day, you're not likely to stick with it. Try to put the joy in the system. Try to find that little success that you can get. And one way you can do that is by setting either a little streak that you can go to, or a little, what do you call, finding a part of the whole system. You have to be doing something that at least has some small amount of joy, not just for the money, because you're going to really struggle every single day, especially when it's not about the result. If you're saying to yourself, look, I'm just going to grit my teeth, I'm going to bite it, and I'm going to continue just dragging along on this, it's not going to work, guys. You're going to lack motivation. It will fail. What you want to do is find that joy along your goals towards the target. Okay, point 6, right, is avoid the motivation and just do it philosophy. Okay, and this pulls back to the 2 previous points. There are a lot of people out there, right? Especially David Goggins. I find David Goggins the worst of these guys. Andrew Tate, David Goggins, that have this philosophy of, hey, if you're not working hard, you are a slob. You are a lazy person. And one of the worst things is you see this very often January 1st, if you've been to the gym, it's very crowded, and then motivation wanes. You know, if stuff is very hard, right, then, you know, you think you need to use motivation to push through. And that's why I said to find the joy, because it's very hard to get success if everything is pain. Not just the success and failure, but the exact journey is all pain. This is a myth. I don't think it's real. I don't think you can actually achieve huge amount of success if everything around the way. Let's say, I said to you guys, look, you want to be a great PHP programmer, keep coding until you get carpal tunnel and you start bleeding from your hands. That's how you get good, once you've reach 500 failures and units in order to get success. Yes, there will be some suffering here and there, but that's not part of the goal. And it's nothing related to the success. It could be an easy streak, it could be some effort if you find the joy. So that is a myth, that's point 6. And number 7 is very, very important, guys. Number 7, critical in failure. Do not equate your self-esteem only to success and failure. This is very critical, and not many people actually talk about this. And I've noticed this, that what is happening in our world today, right, is that with so much media, so much influence, that there is an illusion of success. There is an illusion that everybody is successful all the time. And even if someone brings up the failure, right, it's just glossed over, because they don't want to talk about it. So if Google fails in Frogo, if Twitter fails, if this fails and that fails, right, the only time they bring it up is to beat the person down on it. But after that, when someone's success, they talk about the Bugattis and the money and all this. They talk about women that look great, that influence that look good. It's always the positive spin fantasy that's out there. And what happens to a lot of people who are trying, right, is that you equate your self-worth to success and failure, and you make that judgment. An example, if you've got a job at the FANG, you feel your self-esteem is here. That's why you worship these people. If you don't have a very high paying job, you think your self-esteem is here just because somebody else decides how much you are worth. There is a bit of it, but this is a very dangerous road because it is a self-fulfilling prophecy. It goes both ways. This is very dangerous. This is one of the worst areas, and it really makes failure very difficult to take. We are all very influenced by the way our self-esteem and status works. Like you may have seen it, especially in Asia during holidays. The cousins come over, like this guy's a doctor, this guy is a this guy is a that, right? And they talk about the success. They don't talk about the failure. They don't talk about all of these things they go through. Now, this is very hard to handle. And if you get into that downward spiral, right, it's going to be it'll keep nagging on you. So how do we deal with this equating success and failure with self-esteem? The first thing is you can't get rid of it. Okay, it is a major component. How much money you make does affect your self-esteem. But what you can start thinking about is in a pie chart, start to diversify out of it. So one way you could say is, look, yes, I agree. 60% is based on my startup's failure and success. But there's another 40% that has to do with me achieving small goals in the morning. Okay? And one of the first few things is that once you start thinking it's a pie chart and say, okay, I want to hit that 40%. Yeah, my business collapsed. But today at 7 o'clock, the alarm's going to ring and I'm going to get up and wash my teeth and I'm going to make my bed. And that can be a small victory that gets you out of that, you know? So when you are in the comfort of some person, yes, Andrew Tate's got a Bugatti Veyron, but today I'm going to stop one bus stop early and I'm going to walk there and I'm going to get that 5,000 steps in there. That is something I can do today and I can win the day today. Imagine that the scores have been reset, okay, on a daily, when the sun goes down, scores are reset. Whatever car or plane that this other person has, it's zero. We start the day fresh. Okay, what do you do today to get through that? That is the best way, I think, of getting through this status is equal to success and failure. And it will help you a lot to get past this area. That is, try to reward yourself along the way. A lot of times, right, I am also guilty of this, is that we have this huge runway. And what happens is that you say, okay, I'm not going to reward myself until I reach success. But that's very hard. Your self-esteem gets hammered. So what you want to do is, if you have these small victories, you want to put little milestone rewards in there for you achieving these things. Like for me, one of my favorite milestone rewards, right, is that I bought a lounge pass for flying. Okay, and it's not expensive. It's a $200 lounge pass, and I put that as a goal. Right, I created my own rewards package. So you know that if you have a loyalty card or something, if you hit certain level, they get that. Another one is access to $1,000 of taxi credits. Now I have that money. I just don't allow myself to use it. But what I did is I put it in there. If I achieve these goals, right, I would get these credits. And I don't really spend them. I don't really use them. But the fact that I rewarded myself and I'm forced to spend them. Okay? This is the other thing, is like, don't give yourself fake rewards where you know you can control it. Give yourself these rewards and force yourself. Look, if you're gonna, get McDonald's vouchers, right, or whatever, it could be really small. Go out and spend those things. Don't say, okay, I got it, I put it in there and sits there. I don't want to spend. That is how you run out of motivation. And that's how your self-esteem only becomes on the last part of your journey, right? Only about the success and failure. Forget about that. So once you're enjoying those small rewards, right, you will say, hey, look, whatever I spend those time, I'm feeling some of the reward. I don't care what these other guys are doing. I don't care what their Bugattis or the planes or the first class travel that they're doing. I'm still getting those rewards. And you're for now, because that's the bottom line, because the tech lead said so.